I don't know why you came back. I've asked myself this question so many times today, and no matter how much I think about it, I still don't have an answer for it. This morning I thought we were okay. We were talking, we were laughing, we were texting, and for the first time in a while, I stopped overthinking. I finally let myself believe that maybe things were different. Maybe all the confusion that was behind us. Maybe you came back because you actually wanted me in your life again. I let my guard down. I let myself get excited when I saw your name pop up. I let myself believe there was still a chance that things could work out. I ignored every reason I had to be careful because I wanted to believe in you more than I wanted to protect myself. And then later today, out of nowhere, you just blocked me. There was no explanation. There was no goodbye. There was no argument. There was just nothing. Just gone. I spent hours reading our conversations, trying to figure out what happened between this morning and now. Was it something I said? Was it something I didn't say? Did I miss a sign? Did I do something wrong? I have no idea. And that's probably what hurts the most. Not being blocked, not even losing you. It's not knowing why. If you knew you were going to leave again, why did you come back? Why did you let me think everything was okay? Why did you give me hope if you were just going to take it away a few hours later? I was already starting to move on before he had come back. It wasn't easy, but I was getting there. Then you showed up again, and every feeling I had worked came so hard to bury came back, rushing in like they had never left. It's crazy how one person can just completely change your entire day. This morning I was smiling at my phone. Tonight I'm staring at my phone, wondering why it wasn't enough. People always just tell you to move on, like it's that simple. But moving on is hard when you don't understand what happened. Your mind keeps searching for an answer that doesn't exist. You replay every conversation, every message, every joke, every little detail. You convince yourself that if you think about it long enough, you'll eventually find the reason. But sometimes there isn't one. Or maybe there is and you just never told me. I keep wondering if I meant anything to you at all. Did our conversations mean as much to you as they did to me? Did you ever even miss me? Or was I just someone who crossed your mind for a day before you decided to disappear? I'll probably never know. That's the part that's hard to accept because not every story gets a closure. Not every person explains why they leave. Sometimes they just do. I don't hate you and I don't want revenge. I don't want you to feel guilty. I just wish you understood what today felt like from my side. Because while you might have blocked me in a second, I'm gonna spend a lot longer trying to understand why. Maybe one day I'll stop wondering. Maybe one day seeing your name won't make my heart skip. Maybe one day this will stop. Maybe one day you'll finally realize that deep down I truly did care, and you pushed me away. I'll never understand what was the point of you coming back if you were just to leave again. I don't think people realize how dangerous hope is. Hope made me believe we'd be okay. Hope is what made this hurt. You didn't just leave today, you erased every smile you gave me this morning. Some people just leave your life with a goodbye. You just left me with questions. I wasn't asking you to love me forever, I was just asking you to not disappear. The hardest part isn't accepting that you're gone, it's accepting that I'll probably never know why. I keep looking for a reason to hate you, because maybe it would make moving on easier, but all I find are memories. You become the first person I wanted to tell everything to, then you become the one person I couldn't tell anything to. Nothing hurts more than realizing that the person who made you feel special is the same person who makes you question your worth. I wish you knew how many times I opened your chat today, hoping reality would somehow change. I would have heard the truth and be comforted by silence. I keep wondering if I ever crossed your mind the way you never left mine. You don't realize how loud the silence can be until it's coming from someone who you used to talk to every day. You came back long enough to remind me what happiness felt like, then left before I could get used to it. The saddest part is, I still smile when I think about our good memories, and even though they're the same memories that break me, I would have fought for us. I just didn't know I was fighting alone. You'll probably forget this happened. I remember exactly where I was when I realized you were gone again. I keep blaming myself because it's easier than accepting I may never get an explanation. I miss the version of you that made me believe it was going to be okay. I realized I meant less to you than you meant to me. I think the cruelest thing someone can do is make another person feel safe and then become the reason they don't trust anyone anymore. You're my favorite person and my favorite notification. Now you're just my biggest unanswered question. I'll heal eventually, but that doesn't change the fact that today something broke inside me. I don't know what hurts more, the fact that you left or the fact that I would have welcomed you back every single time. And maybe that's the saddest part. If my phone lit up tomorrow and it was you, I'd still hesitate for a second, then I'd probably answer. I keep telling myself not to wait for a message that probably isn't ever gonna come, but every time my phone lights up for a second, I still hope that it's you. I hate admitting that. I hate that after everything, a part of me still hopes this was all some misunderstanding. That maybe you unblocked me. That you'll explain that you never meant to hurt me this way. And that none of this was ever supposed to happen. But the more time passes, the quieter everything gets. And I'm starting to realize that silence can say things words can never could. You know what's crazy? I don't even remember every conversation we've ever had. I don't remember every joke. I don't remember every message. But I'll remember today. I remember waking up thinking everything was finally okay. And I'll remember going to sleep wondering why it wasn't enough to stay. It's strange how someone can become a part of your daily routine, then become a stranger overnight. You don't prepare yourself for that. Nobody ever does. I wish people understood that getting over someone isn't about forgetting them. It's about learning to live with the version of yourself they left behind. The version that questions everything. The version that overthinks every message. The version that's afraid to get attached because the last person they trusted disappeared without a reason. Maybe you won't ever know what today did to me. Maybe you'll never watch this. Maybe you'll never think about me again, but if there's one thing I wish you knew, it's that I was genuine. Every conversation, every laugh, every time I asked how your day was, every time I smiled, every time I saw your name pop up my phone, none of it was ever fake. I cared maybe more than I should have, and that's the biggest mistake. Giving people pieces of my heart before I knew if they were going to stay or if they were even worth it. There's a quote I heard once that never made sense until now. Sometimes the person who breaks your heart knows they're holding it. I think that's what hurts. You probably had no idea that one decision, one click, one block could leave someone sitting alone wondering what they did wrong. I don't know if I'll ever get closure. Maybe closure is something people give you. Maybe it's something that you have to build for yourself out of all the questions that never get answered. I'm not there yet. Right now, it still hurts. Right now, I still miss the person I thought you were. And right now, I'm just trying to accept that the hardest goodbyes are the ones that are never spoken. So if this is really the end, I hope one day I stop searching for an answer in a conversation that's already over. Because the truth is, the version of me that woke up this morning but believed everything was going to be okay, the version of me writing this now, knows how quickly someone's absence can become louder than their presence ever was. Maybe one day this video will just be another memory. Maybe months from now, I'll watch it and wonder why I cried so much over someone who couldn't stay. Maybe I'll smile because I'll finally understand that some people aren't meant to be permanent. But today, I'm not there yet. I'm still trying to understand how this morning felt so full of hope and tonight feels so empty. People say everything happens for a reason. Maybe they're right. Maybe one day I'll meet someone who chooses me every single day instead of only when it's convenient. Someone who doesn't leave me guessing. Someone who's not making me question my worth. Someone who stays. Until then, all I can do is just keep moving forward. Not because I want to, but because life doesn't stop. Just because your heart does for a moment. And if you ever watch this, I hope you know I never wanted to make you look like the bad person. I made this because I needed someone to put the words you never gave me the chance to say. I needed somewhere to leave the questions you'll probably never answer, and maybe that's my closure. Not an explanation from you, not a text, not an apology, not an excuse, just accepting that some chapters end without the ending we hope for. You taught me something even if you never meant to. You taught me that not everyone walks back into your life plans on staying. You taught me that hope can be beautiful, but it can also be the most painful thing a person holds on to. Maybe that's the hardest lesson of all. It's sad realizing that sometimes you have to stop chasing answers from people who have already chosen silence. So this is where I let go. Not because I stopped caring, but because you stopped mattering to me. But because I deserve peace more than I deserve another sleepless night wondering why it wasn't enough. I don't understand what the future holds, and I don't know if our paths will ever cross again, but if they don't, I'll be fine whatever you're looking for. And I hope the version of myself that existed before I started questioning my worth was because of someone else's decision. Thank you. Not for leaving, not for coming back, but for teaching me that I should never have to beg for someone to stay, wonder where I stand, and question whether I'm enough. The right people won't make you earn the love, respect, or honesty that should have been there from the beginning. So this is a goodbye. Not because I finally got the answers, but because I finally realized that sometimes the strongest thing you could do is walk away from a story that never gave you the ending you deserved. And if you're watching this because you felt the kind of pain too, I hope one day you realize that something. Hope one day you realize that I'm still trying to learn myself. People who leave without explaining your worth were never the real ones who had the power to define it. Maybe today broke my heart, but it won't write the rest of my story. This might have not been the ending I thought I wanted, but maybe this is the ending I needed. I might not ever understand why you just came to leave again. I might never get the explanation I wanted or the closure I was hoping for. But I'm starting to realize I can't keep searching for answers from someone who chose to stay silent. But I can choose what happens next. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep becoming a better version of myself. I'm going to keep believing that there are people out there who will make me question my place in life because one person leaving doesn't mean I'm impossible to love. One person walking away doesn't mean I wasn't enough. Sometimes people leave because they're just not ready to be the next chapter of your story. Thank you for the lessons. Even though it hurts right now, I hope one day I can look back without sadness and just be grateful I got to experience something real. I'll look back one day at this moment and realize this wasn't the day I lost someone. It was the day I started finding myself. Thank you for memories and the lessons. Even though it hurts right now, I hope one day I can look back with sadness and just be grateful I got to experience this. This is the end. I still believe better days are coming.